What's the universal language of the world? What's the universal language of the world that the Creator is supposed to send a message to? Tell me the language that everyone on the planet understands.
No, you're not understanding. There are
No, no,
many
no,
different. There are
no.
many
I
different.
promise you. I
I'll
promise
explain to
you,
you.
brother. The
I'll explain to
conversation
you.
will be over till Monday if you
I'll
don't
explain.
answer the damn question.
I'll explain to
What
you.
is the universal language that
I
you
will.
tried to insinuate? You tried to insinuate that. So what is the damn universal language that the Creator would have had to send it into? And what is, and the second part of that, what is the language he'll have to send it into in Africa, although they all speak in different languages in Africa, indigenous African languages?
Okay,
So
so
what is the universal that
okay,
everyone will
calm
understand?
down.
And what
Okay,
is the universal
I'm
African language that
going.
all Africans understand?
I'm going to answer your question. So this Allah, who is all wise and all knowing, knows that he could have sent his message to every single people on the planet in the language that they currently have. Okay, so there is not one universal language because depending on where you go, there are many different languages. But your God is smart. He's a really smart guy. But what he decided to do was just to send it to these desert dwelling Arabs. That doesn't sound very smart to me, because if you and I, okay, want our last message to be known around the globe, what we should do in modern day times is set up satellites, okay, and have translators, okay, and we have our last will and testament. We want it to be seen by everyone around the world. So we got translators from all countries. We've got satellites beaming to all TVs in all countries because we have our last will and testament. And we know that as human beings, okay? We know that as human beings, but apparently your God isn't that smart. He didn't send his last will and testament in every language. He chose to send it to some crazy Arab barbarians in a desert that everyone now has to go and get God's last will and testament. And that to me sounds very highly convenient.
Okay. Now, back to displaying more of this ignorance and undeveloped brain that our brother is displaying, is that chapter 16 of the Holy Quran, verse 37. I'm just going to start at the beginning, and I only have to finish the verse. It's going to chop this guy up. And we certainly sent messengers into every nation. We certainly sent into every nation a messenger. We certainly sent in every nation a messenger. We certainly sent to every nation a messenger. So every single nation has had their people, but that speak their own language that they can understand. This is what the Quran says. The message was already sent. Hold on. The message was sent to Kemet. The message was sent to Ashanti. The message was sent to Somalia. The message was sent all over the planet.
You brought that message.
This is why all over the planet you have creation stories. This is why over the planet you have what the white man would term as mythologies, because how these African people and people around the world was expressing the way of life, or what life actually meant to them, from creation until the time that they are in, whatever time we're going to pick. So your ignorance precedes you, because the Quran is clear that this message is all clear. Now, if you want to say,
no, we're going to address that. We're going to address that. First of all, I couldn't give a damn about what your Quran says, okay? Whatever you say, you're going to have to back it up. You're going to have to prove it. You can't just say, oh, the Quran says we sent messengers. I'm going to ask you who those damn messengers are. If we go to the Ashanti, who's the messenger for the Ashanti? If we go to the Samoan, who's the messenger for the Samoan? If we go to the Chinese, who's the messenger for the Chinese? It's fine. Listen, you see, with me, you're going to have to back up every single statement that you make, okay? So if I said every single person got a message from Sa Ra Garvey, okay, we have to go and see who got that message from Sa Ra Garvey. You can't just say stuff. It sounds good. Sounds fantastic. Oh, the Quran says, the Quran says, the Quran says. That's fine. But what can you prove, bro? Because you can't prove that every person got a messenger. Can you? Who was a messenger for the Ashanti, bro? Prove that. But you, bro. This is what we call, in logical circles, we call this circular logic. Okay, and so basically what it means that because the book says so, then it must be true, because I believe it. That is what Imam Bashir now is using. He says the Quran says we sent messengers to every nation. And because he believes that, then it's true. But with that logic, okay, I could say Batman lives in Gotham City. Why? Because the comic book says so, and I believe it. So just because a book says something, bro, it doesn't make it a fact. It doesn't make it true. It just means you believe what the book says. When we go outside of the comic book, can we find Batman? Can we find Gotham City? Can we find the Joker? No. But because my mind is stuck inside the book, and I believe the book, just like Imam Bashir, his mind is stuck inside the Quran. I'm not finished. I'm not even finished, bro. Your mind is stuck inside the Quran, okay? And you say, because the Quran says it, then it's true. No, my friend, because when we go outside the Quran to find all of these messengers that you supposedly said, yeah, where can we find them? Where's the proof?
Okay, I see you still don't comprehend and you're doing a shuffle. It's okay, because the ones that's really listening attentively, they see you. The first thing I said, all show. And the reason why I said it, because I knew that the video is going to catch you and you're going to be caught and you're going to be stuck there and you're going to have to live with it even though you can't comprehend it. So I mentioned Nebuchadnezzar. I mentioned Older Man Kama. I mentioned African deities that actually have a story behind them that has no basis in the Quran. Then this guy comes and says, the Quran, Allah is not smart. He would have sent messengers. He would have sent a universal message that everybody can hear and understand. He would have did this. He would have did that. And then I said, well, hold up. You made me go to the Quran. And then I said, well, the Quran don't actually say what you said, Scarecrow. It actually says that the message was sent to the people. So then when you look into the papyri in the British Museum, on the papyri, I believe it's labeled 801. That's the number of the papyri, and it's talking about Nebuchadnezzar, and it says Nebuchadnezzar, spewed forth Keppara, and then Keppara spewed forth the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, etc. And the story goes on. Older Man Kamba is a deity that the Ashanti, the Fulani, that their ancient tradition says this creator was there and it spewed forth the earth, spewed forth the air and grew the trees, etc., etc. I can go deep into the stories. I can go deep into the lessons. Close that door because the light is attracting those bugs, please. Jazakallah. And so there is stories all around the planet, especially in Africa, where everyone have their creation story or version of it. Everyone has their science of life, their science of social interaction with one another. They all have common things that are in agreement with the Quran, with the Injil, with the Torah, etc. Notice I ain't mentioned Bible there. Notice I didn't mention that. With Psalms, etc. Notice I ain't mentioned Bible again. So the point that I'm saying is you say, where's your proof? You're just talking about belief. When I'm telling you about the cultures of people, you could go to the Native Americans. They also have ancestral stories as to creation, so on and so forth. If you want me to teach you some of them, that's fine and dandy. But for you to sit here and say, and there's plenty of primary sources that state how people are created in their creation story, which is in line with the Quran, that everyone been sent a messenger. Everyone has their expression of what the creator is. Also, going back to the Quran to prove that it is authentic and it is true, is that it says that the Sabians, or right now, the Jews, the Christian, notice that I'm switching so you can understand what I'm saying. But on Monday, I'm gonna give you Arabic and all of that. I'm switching, but the so-called Jews, which is the Israelites, the so-called Christians, the people that we know of today, the so-called Sabians, the so-called Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book, and the Sabians are those that do not have a book, but they recognize the creator. They have their own story. It says they too will get paradise if they recognize the Most High, etc. So the Quran itself does not capitalize on culturalism like you're trying to imply, which is a damn lie. And it wouldn't say that those that do not have a book, but recognize the Most High will also be entered into the Jannah or the paradise.
All right, fine.
So,
Okay. Hang on. You've gone for a while. So
made on that.
Hang on. Hang on. So what you're doing now, you're working backwards. Okay. So before the Quran came into existence, okay, you will find all around the globe, okay, that people generally, if you can go to the highlands of, I don't know, the Andes Mountains to the lowlands of South America, you will find that people had a God concept. Okay. And sometimes the God concept, these God concepts were similar. So you can go all around the globe and you can find human beings having one thing in common. And one thing in common is that they will have a God concept. What you are trying to do is you're trying to sneak in, okay, at the end of the game. Okay, the game's already happened. You're sneaking in at the end of the game and you're saying the reason why all of these people have these God concepts is because of my book. No, it is more logical to say that people and cultures that interacted with one another learned from one another. Okay, that is more logical. It's more logical to say that cultures learned from one another and took parts of stories.
Hold on. What did I say?
I'm not finished.
I'm not finished.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm not finished.
Tell the people again what you said I said.
Listen, one at a time. Let my brother finish the point. Then you're gonna come in.
Finish line.
Okay, so like I said, it's more logical to think that people learn from one another. Nothing, they say nothing is new under the sun. Okay, so you can't use your Quran. Okay, or you are going to, but what I'm not going to do, I'm not going to use your Quran as a yardstick to find out whether or not all of these people had similar stories. Like I said to you before, if you claim something, okay, you have to make it a fact. You can claim something all day long as a belief. That's fine. I believe in aliens. Fine. Okay. Can I prove it? No. Can I give you anecdotal evidence from some people? Yes. Can I give you some hearsay and stuff? Yes. Can I give you stuff that may match up, that may seem like aliens exist? Yes. But can I give you definitive proof that aliens exist? No. You cannot give any definitive proof. So what you now rely on is a subjective way of looking at stuff. Okay. So you can say, oh, but the culture of so-and-so had a God concept similar to ours. Fantastic. Still doesn't prove your Quran is correct. Still doesn't prove it. It just says they may have some similar stuff. It doesn't prove it, bro. And what I've noticed with religious people is that your bar for proof is very low. It's steeped in mysticism. It's steeped in subjectivity. It's steeped in spooky stuff. So, like I said, I'm going to require proof, okay? Because, correct me if I'm wrong, according to your Ummah, there were 124,000 different prophets sent to different people around the globe. So I'm going to need at least, you can name me at least 10 if there were 124,000. Just name me 10 prophets that was sent to the rest of the people around the globe, according to your teaching. You can speak.
Yo, dude, I need to get paid to speak to you because you totally are like such lightweight. Like I really thought that it would probably be pretty good. But I see that yo, dude, I don't know. You need some more training because you're weak as hell. Like for real, you weak as hell. And nothing you say is based on facts, based on truth, based on science. Nothing you said tonight is based on anthropology. Nothing you said tonight is based on historical reference. You're just talking and answer questions. You're saying that I'm coming with this full of belief, but right here, you the biggest believer in the damn building already.
Okay, so
you made statements.
I'm still going to require those 10 names.
You made statements that said, oh, he said this, he said that, he said this. No, damn well, that's not what I said. Because you're trying to fool yourself and you want to deceive the people. You're trying to fool yourself and you want to deceive the people.
After you're shouting.
You had your moment. Now be quiet while I have in mind. You want to deceive the people, and that shit is not real. That is not black power. That has nothing to do with black nationalism. You are teaching white supremacy. You want to use your so-called philosophical expressions and try to say that because it's in a particular culture, that means the culture is trying to just take over everybody's identity. It's trying to do this and that. Yo, man, let me tell you. This is why I said to you on Facebook that this is really not a debate, because I only debate my equals and the like thereof, and you are neither one of them. I only can teach you. You think you're in a debate right now, but you're not in a debate. And you're not in a debate. Hold on. You're not in a debate for Monday. So I'm gonna ask you a question. I asked you two questions. I asked you a question. Well, what's your thought on the creator, and how do you see the creator?
Those names,
you said, oh, I'm not going to respond to that because it's not Monday. So you reserve the right until Monday on the debate. Okay, fine. I asked you about your concept and your perception or energy. You then said also you reserve the right. You didn't say that. I'm injecting that word reserves the rights, those words. So you reserve the right to wait till Monday. And then after that, essentially what you've been doing is saying, oh, the Quran, oh, the this, oh, well, that. Well, if the Quran or any book has the truth in it as it pertains to the science that I'm bringing, because this is what I do with you. This is what I do with all you guys. I use the science.
After you go on the track, we're going to need some names.
Evidence first and foremost, and then I'll hit you with the verse of the Quran that corresponds with that. So an intelligent person knows you cannot argue with that. So I know how to checkmate your ass.
Well, listen, let me
checkmate yourself there, but I don't know.